What's going on, guys? Apex just dropped a new update, and this one is one of those updates that really changes how the game feels without completely flipping the whole meta upside down. The biggest winner here is probably Ballistic. He got a real set of buffs, not just a tiny nudge. He now respawns with his sling weapon in all modes. Whistler only affects one weapon instead of messing with multiple guns. The overheat damage jumps from 15 to 50. The debuff lasts longer, and he gets 2 tactical charges now instead of 1. That alone already makes him much more threatening, but the part that stands out most is the ultimate change. Instead of giving the whole team a full speed boost, it now gives Ballistic and nearby teammates a sprint boost, which keeps the push power while cutting back on some of the annoying chase pressure. Pathfinder gets a big boost too, with 2 grapple charges, a flat 20-second cooldown, faster zipline launch speed, and a shorter ultimate cooldown. That is the kind of change that immediately makes a movement legend feel way more active in real matches. Seer also gets more responsive heartbeat and tactical behavior, so he is a little less clunky and a little better at tracking people who are moving fast. On the nerf side, the patch clearly tries to bring a few legends back toward a healthier spot. Axel loses some of the spammy edge with fewer tactical devices, lower device health, and less abuse potential from knocked players moving through Nitrogate effects. Mad Maggie gets a longer tactical cooldown and her ultimate is toned down, so the speed boost is sprint only instead of helping all movement. Valkyrie loses the faster landing improvement, which is a pretty clean way to trim a little power without gutting her identity. Conduit also takes a noticeable hit with lower regen values, longer tactical cooldown, and an upgrade change that removes ring damage regen from Enduring Barrier. In other words, the update seems very focused on reducing the legends that were either shaping fights too hard or making it too easy to keep pressure going forever. Weapons and hop-ups are where things get interesting for anyone who likes loadout changes. The Hemlock Breach AR gets smaller magazine sizes across the board, so you are not getting quite as much free value in extended fights. The EVA-8 and Mozambique both get slightly better handling, which should make them feel a bit cleaner in close range. The new Executioner hop-up is probably the most exciting addition here, since it works on the Peacekeeper and Mastiff and gives shield regen after a knock, which makes shotgun plays feel even more rewarding. At the same time, the patch removes dual shell from the Mastiff, removes disruptor rounds from the Peacekeeper, shifts graffiti mod away from the Longbow, Wingman, and Mozambique, and adds graffiti mod to the Flatline and Volt. Then there is Turbocharger on the Nemesis, which is a huge deal for anyone who already liked that gun because it lets the Nemesis reach max fire rate much faster after just 2 bursts. That is the kind of change that can quietly reshape what people reach for every match. The map and rank changes are less dramatic, but they still matter a lot once you are actually playing. Public matches are rotating through Stormpoint, World's Edge, and Kings Canyon, while Ranked is on Stormpoint, World's Edge, and E-District. Mixtape also has its own rotation schedule, and Wildcard is getting weekly map swaps between Broken Moon, Olympus, and Kings Canyon. Ranked also loses the Champion Squad screen, so you go from your squad straight into the dropship now, which should make the start of ranked matches feel a little cleaner and less loaded with noise. That is one of those changes you do not fully appreciate until it is gone. There is also a pretty long list of bug fixes and quality of life updates tucked into this patch, and a lot of them are the kind of thing players notice the second they stop happening. Bots should actually loot weapons after landing now. Deathbox respawn issues are being cleaned up. Akimbo restoration is fixed on beacon respawns, and a bunch of weapon bugs got addressed too, including Bosec, Rampage, Sentinel, Gold Shotgun Bolt, and the CR Gold Magazine. On top of that, there are legend fixes for Axel, Ballistic, and Mad Maggie, along with map cleanup on Stormpoint, World's Edge, Kings Canyon, and E-District. The visual side got work too, with Bosec arrow effects updated, banner hitching reduced, bloom lowered across all maps, and some lighting and collision improvements sprinkled in. It is the kind of patch that may not look wild at first read, but once you stack all of it together, it should make the game feel tighter, fairer, and a lot less messy in everyday matches.